Now, over the past several weeks, a group of journalists from public broadcasters here in France, Belgium, and Canada have come together to investigate the tweets of Elon Musk. Using his platform X, formerly known as Twitter, he has become one of the most prolific disseminators of messages from the Trump White House. France 24's Observers is part of this project, and we can bring in Ershad Ali Jani now. Ershad, great to see you. You have been analyzing some 15,000 messages posted by Elon Musk on X over the past 5 months. According to your findings, he has consistently promoted far-right ideologies here in Europe and expressed open hostility towards Ukraine.
Yeah, sure. That's correct. By examining thousands of his posts and tracing the patterns with the help of Python and AI, we've been able to construct a revealing picture of the worldwide society and ideology he actively promotes. We use Python, a programming language, to scrape 50,000 tweets, download more than 1,500 videos and more than 1,000 photos, clean them up and prepare them for analysis. We also used Python and AI to transcribe all the videos, which in many cases were more than 2 hours, 2 more hours long, as well as the photos. And then we analyzed the content using AI and categorized them into what he talks about in this post. Europe appears to be a particular obsession for him. On average, he posts about Europe roughly 10 times a day, which is substantial. And in almost every case, the content is critical. He targets the democratic, progressive values upheld by European nations while championing far-right ideologies and political figures across the continent. For instance, this graph illustrates the themes Musk focuses on when he posts about Europe. It's a consistent pattern: attacks on democracy, on EU institutions, and on the progressive values that underpin modern Europe.
So can you give us some examples specifically?
Yeah, sure. Take, for example, for instance, the cases of Great Britain and Germany. We have another graph when it comes to, for example, federal election in Germany on February 23rd. As you can see here, there is a huge peak in Musk posts about Germany, and most of the topics are in support of the far-right party AFD. Or in the UK case, you can see there was another peak on December 26th. That was when membership of the populist right-wing party Reform UK surpassed that one of the Conservatives. At key political junctures, elections, referendums, or major national debates, his volume of posts concerning these countries spikes dramatically. And the narrative he pushes is unmistakable, one that echoes the rhetoric and ideology of Europe's far right. Here is an example. For example, in a tweet, as he posted before the German federal election, and he literally campaigned for the far-right AFD and says the next election is the last chance for Germany, in mentioning AFD as the last chance.
And what about when it comes to Ukraine and Russia?
In the case of Ukraine, the pattern is even more stark. We've been analyzing thousands of Musk posts on X, and it's clear who he chooses to amplify. When it comes to Ukraine-Russia war, we have another graphic here. Musk posts closely mirror those of commentators and influencers widely as aligned with the Kremlin or overtly pro-Russia. At the top of this list is Mario Nawfal, a far-right entrepreneur and influencer widely described as a mouthpiece for Kremlin and closely linked to Belarusian leader Alexander Lukashenko, a key ally of Vladimir Putin. Then there is Jan Malchang, another prominent far-right figure who previously worked for Russia Today. You know that the Russia Today is a Kremlin-backed propaganda outlet. Musk also frequently promotes and retweets people like Mike Pence, a well-known far-right conspiracist and white supremacist who once infamously claimed that Jews were responsible for the massacre of whites. And then there are people like Charlie Kirk, another far-right commentator with a track record of promoting pro-Russia and white nationalist narratives. Given this landscape, it's perhaps no surprise that Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, he accused Moscow of building a disinformation space. around U.S. President Donald Trump.
Irshad, you mentioned Elon Musk's sort of obsession, if you will, with Europe. So who are his primary targets? Which countries does he tend to single out?
Yeah, that's something we've specifically analyzed, identify who exactly Musk targets most frequently in his posts about Europe. And we have a graphic here. We found at least 1,308 posts where he discussed Europe. And nearly all of them are negative or overtly critical. If you look at this graph, you'll see a clear pattern. Across nearly every category of criticism, his primary targets are the United Kingdom, Germany, and Europe as a whole. In the realm of European policy, foreign policy, you can see that Ukraine tops the list of targets, followed by the European Union and Germany. Over time, Musk's targets tend to shift depending on current events, as illustrated in another graph here. After attacking the British justice, for example, justice system over so-called grooming gangs, Musk turns to Germany and uses the pretext of a terrorist attack to attack Germany over immigration and security. Then he again turns to England for the arrest of far-right extremist Tommy Robinson, and then Romania following the disqualification of a pro-Russian far-right figure from running in the election. He also turned his attention to France during the court case involving Marine Le Pen. But Musk isn't the only critical. He has clear favorite as well. When he's not attacking, he's actively promoting what could be described as the cream of the European far-right. This includes figures like Tommy Robinson, the UK, Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban, and German AfD party. As for France, as I already mentioned, it's not been one of his primary targets, at least not yet. His recent mentions of France have mostly been in the context of showing support for Marine Le Pen.